What up, babes? My goodness. If I'm ever dressed like I'm about to go golfing, it's because the chapter slapped, and this one definitely did. There was not even a lot. Not a lot, but one thing made my brain spin in about a million different directions, and I'm still pondering what it really means, what's truly going on. How many? It seems like for every question that we get answered, 3 more questions pop up with no answer. Just heavy speculation. Just before we even get into the chapter, I think we can say that the man marked by flames almost guaranteed to be Aokiji. You could also argue Urog, but I don't think so. But maybe. But it's almost guaranteed to be Aokiji at this point. I just don't see anybody else making sense at this point, but that's a different topic. We start off with the Straw Hats. Luffy learning. I love that he's learning all this information, and it's all just completely baffling to him. That Sabo has assassinated Cobra. Now, we all know that that's probably not true, and Luffy's like, damn straight, that's a damn lie. And then he goes at it with all his people, and he's like, we need to go do it right now. And I love that Zoro's like, you need to chill out, okay? They have their own shit going on. We can't save everybody all the time. That is on the other side of the world. And I like how Zoro steps in, because I think that this is kind of trying to make us see how important the first mate is, and just kind of like them keeping the captain in check and making them understand, hey, like, we can't just do all this crazy shit that you're saying, Luffy. I love it. I love the enthusiasm, but we're doing our own shit. We have one mission at a time and we have to accomplish it. So I love that everyone's really emotional about it, and Zoro's just so level-headed, but everyone's like, we need to go save Vivi, blah, 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 and then he gets all mad that these guys keep crying. It's like, guys, we have our own shit to do. Shut up. He even brings up Ace, and then Luffy's like, really? You're gonna bring up my brother in this one? And he's like, you bet your ass I am, and you know I'm right. But it goes through the news. There's so much news when they were in Wano. It's insane. More jokes about Sanji being the 4th, which I love, because it just has them fighting in the background like all the time now. More talking about Buggy, but we know the truth behind that now, as we all thought Buggy is a clown. And then it gets to a dream that Luffy has. A vow, an oath that was given between him and his 2 other brothers, Ace and Sabo. And now I'm really curious about is, what was Ace's dream? Did Ace accomplish it? Did he not accomplish it? Is Luffy going to be the only brother that accomplishes it? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I like to think that Sabo is going to accomplish his, because, no offense to Sabo, it's not super difficult. He just wants to see the world and write a book on it. And I think at this point in his adventures that he's seen enough of the world to write a pretty damn good book about it. And I think in the past, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but we've seen him writing. We've seen him writing several times, I think, in like their little hideout. So I think that was a part of it. I think this has been an idea for a while, but it doesn't show us what Luffy says. Of course, I think this is going to come back at like the very, very end, when he's throwing that final punch, knocking out Emu, but, you know, all speculation about what his dream is, and everyone looks surprised. And there's a lot of interesting reactions. Like, everyone's like kind of surprised. Some people are laughing. Some people are just straight baffled. But the thing that I think gives it kind of away, because have the whole world live in harmony, peace, free the world, something along those lines, right? Something all-encompassing for the entirety of the world, for the entirety of everything, the seas, every island, all of it. And I think that this is going to make a lot of sense, because of more of what we're seeing and how big the Navy truly is, and how big of a problem Celestial Dragons and all that is. But he brings up that Shanks cried. Now, the only other time we've seen Shanks cry is when Gold Roger told him something, another question, that we don't know, that we have no idea. But I like to think that these two things are somewhat related. Somewhat. Do I have any proof behind that? Absolutely, I do not. But I like to think that Luffy and Shanks might share a dream, which is maybe why Shanks was crying. I don't think Shanks is a bad guy, and I think he understands that this world is under constant tyranny. That this mad king that Sabo then brings up a little bit later, and I think there's a reason why Sabo brings this up in the same time Luffy tells us his dream. When Sabo says the empty throne was not actually empty, somebody was there, and it was, we'll get to that in a second, but him saying that that's what he wants his dream to be, and that that's just a part of being the Pirate King, this says so much. This says so much. First of all, come on, Luffy. Your dream is to be the Pirate King, all right? Shut up about the rest. It's cool. I love it. I do love it. I'm cool with it. But I'm like, relax. You want to be the Pirate King. But he's like, I need to be the Pirate King to do this. And that says so much. So then being the Pirate King is below whatever he wants to do, which means he's going to be a better pirate than Rogers. Of course, we all kind of assumed that. But he's going to become the Pirate King first, which then opens up a ginormous can of worms of, okay, so then he finds the One Piece, which I'm pretty sure just about is what made Roger the Pirate King. But when he becomes the Pirate King, then the whole world's going to be ending, and everyone's going to be under the tyranny of Im, the Five Elders, the Celestial Dragons, and all that shit. And then it brings up, like, the government and the Navy, and then, like, how much does Sakazuki know? And then it brings up, like, what is Kong doing? And, like, all these other people. There's too much. There's too much. How much does Doflamingo know? There's too much. There's too much. One thing at a time. We're gonna chill out. We're gonna chill out. He wants to free the world. But this shows, and we have seen, once again, and I think this is what, maybe, like, no, it's a decent amount, like 50 chapters apart. The strongest attack that we last saw, not to change subjects too much, was Ocean Sovereignty by Kaido and Big Mom. That looks like fucking peanuts now. Like peanuts. And I think that's important because they were like, we need to go find the One Piece. Now Shanks is on that. And whoever finds the One Piece is the king of the pirates. But if you're the king of the pirates and whatever Luffy's dream is above that, then we have to think that Im is stupid strong. Stupid strong. That the final villains that we're going to see in this story are going to make Kaido and Big Mom look like a couple of pushovers. Because they weren't sweating too much with him. They weren't. And they said, dude, if this Luffy guy with his Nika fruit finds his way here, it could be a problem. He has that D in his name, and that's an issue for us. There's so much. I could keep talking about it, but I think that his dream is just he wants to free the world. It sounds too basic. He wants world peace. He wants everyone to live in harmony. Something along those lines. I just think it's about freedom, the drums of liberation. I think him becoming Joy Boy is a part of it. But it's interesting. Why does it make Shanks cry? There's a lot of speculation there. I'd love to hear what you guys think. And they're like, okay, we need to go get the last poneglyph. But everyone's down. Everyone's like happy. They're like, hey, I love this dream. It sounds fucking batshit insane, and I think world peace kind of is, but it seems kind of basic at the same time. I don't know. I think it's gonna be a play on that, but I don't know exactly. I wouldn't say that's my final answer. Let me ponder it a bit more. This chapter slapped me out of nowhere. And then we get to the crazy shit. And this is the part that I kept rereading in the chapter. We have the communication between Sabo and the revolutionaries, which, by the way, which is weird, is they know where the revolutionaries are, or they at least know that he's communicating over there. So are they next? Are they moving now? I don't know. Are they not allowed to attack that kingdom yet for whatever reason? I'm not sure. But Lulusia Kingdom. What's Lulusia Kingdom? Well, we don't know because it never existed. Never. We have no idea what that is. And we're getting more of Im, the Five Elders, all of it. And I think this is going to be the last little thing that we get before this island starts because of the end of this. But they talk about how he's unlucky and they know what's coming. I think they were informed by the big boss up top. He didn't kill Cobra. It was somebody else. I'm going to touch base with this just real quick. Cobra had to make a deal. Knowing Cobra, he did not go out like a bitch. I think he spared all of Alabasta. I think he saved all of Alabasta. I think he might have also saved his daughter in a strange way. Is Vivi Uranus? Yes. She's missing. It's strange. We don't know what this power we just saw was. Is it Uranus? Yes. Because, like I said, if that's not an ancient weapon, I don't know what the fuck that is. At first, I thought about it, and I was like, perhaps it's Imu-sama's devil fruit. If you think they're going to give us his devil fruit this early, you're crazy. You're crazy. We don't even know if he has a devil fruit, all right? Everybody relax. They're not going to show us that. It's Uranus, almost guaranteed for sure. It makes sense because we have the Sea Kings. We have the Sea Kings and Pluton coming from underneath. We have Pluton, which is on the surface. And then we have Uranus, which is in the sky. It makes sense. And considering how strong that was and making Kaido and Big Mom look like a bunch of punk bitches, Uranus is nuts. Vivi, supposedly nuts. And the king of Lulusia warns the people. He's like, dude, we're all going to die for this. Like, you guys are going to be impaled. Well, he just says you. And then he's like, and then he looks up at this light and he's like, oh, me too, huh? But they talk about it. And then they cut off the communication. Sabo was telling them Pangea, great name, by the way, Pangea Castle. We thought that there was no king of the world, but there is. The throne wasn't empty. It was actually, and he doesn't even get it off. He doesn't even get it off. Because they cut off the communication, even with the surveillance people. They're like, nothing abnormal happened today. Nothing strange happened. No call was intercepted. None of it. Lulusia, it never existed. And I was like, oh my god, boom, and it destroys all of it. They say that they kind of see something, a shadowy figure up in the clouds, but like I said, it's the ancient weapon, and it's top, middle, and down. And we don't know exactly what this is. Star power, I don't know what it is, but we know it's stupid strong. And if this is a kingdom, it's kind of tough to tell the scale of this, but if it's a kingdom, let's just say it's like Dressrosa. That is a ginormous attack. Ginormous. Humongous attack. Did Sabo die? That's the next question, right? That has to be. That has to be the next question. No. Right? No, but how? No, but how? I mean, he's looking up and it's already light and he's done. They're going to make us think that he's dead for a long time. I really do think that. I think that they're going to make us think that without question, for sure. The revolutionaries are going to act that way. That's just how it's going to go down. But you can't kill one of Luffy's brothers like that. I don't think it's not in Oda to do it. I don't believe, not for a second. And then if you do, I respect you, but no. You can't, like, Oda doesn't kill anybody, and you think that he's just going to be like, Sabo's gone. That's it. He's done. He's done? He's done like that? I mean, it's believable. Where's he going? He's a devil fruit. He can't swim. That destroyed more than just the kingdom. It destroyed a lot of the surrounding area. He was not ready. He was probably in the middle of the island, we'll assume. How did he escape? I don't know. I'm sure it's going to go crazy and try to make me... But he had to take some damage, which means he had to fall in the sea, which means he's dead. I don't know. I don't know how he survived, but there's no way they're killing him. But it was beautiful, and I loved it. And then it goes straight back to Luffy and the gang. Just like that. I think that's the last we're going to see for a little bit. Because, like I said, they're going to make us think that he's dead. And I think everything else is cool. Everything else has been set up very well with what Law and what Kid are supposedly going to start to do or want to do. They're all after that last poneglyph, and they just introduced somebody tremendously amazing. And I didn't have enough time to go back and research because I wanted to get on this video quickly, but Bonney is back. What is interesting is there's a giant worm eddy. I don't know what this means. How did she escape? What is going on? Is this a ploy? I'm not sure. But I'm glad that they're introducing Bonney because she's like, her and Urog are kind of like the last two that we haven't seen really in action yet. So it's nice to see her, Luffy and Chopper fly off. I'm sure it won't be that big of a deal. They might have their own little buddy adventure, which I would be cool with. But Bonnie's back. What is she going to do? Inform us about something. She knows something. She knows something about Kuma, revolutionaries, and the world as a whole. And I think that we're going to learn these things. And I think it's going to be interesting. And I think the rest of the story is going to know that the world as a whole is a thing. Because to this point, like, we've learned stuff about Wano, we've learned stuff about Kaido and stuff, and ancient weapons vaguely. But now, Oda's on the final saga. We're encompassing the last whole. So if this is the saga, we're learning everything about everything now and forever. So this arc, this island that we're going to, probably won't even be that long. We'll still be an island, obviously, but it's going to be information about the world. Of course, they might solve an issue or do something for that island or for those people, but I think they're going to be informed on what's actually happening. They're at the end of the new world, and I think that just as everything comes to a head, as islands are being just eviscerated from the world, shit's going down. We're about to learn everything. Luffy's dream is a thing, and yeah, I think we're getting into this next small arc. I don't think it's going to be long, but we'll see. I'm excited Bonnie's going to be here, and that's all I have to say. This chapter was crazy. I cannot believe that next week's not a break, but hey, I'll take it any day of the week. I did finish rereading all of Wano, and I do want to talk about it. I just don't know when. I'll probably drop it in the middle of the week, maybe. Middle of the week. It's good. It's much better when you read it all the way through, but we'll talk about it then. That's all I have to say, guys. Read that shit again. Oda, Goda. Peace out, babes.